What's up, guys, and welcome back to Planners in Line. My name is Myra.
And I am Megan. Welcome back, guys. What has been
Welcome
going
back to another
on?
week.
Yes, what's been going
It's
on?
I feel like we just talked yesterday, honestly. I mean, we technically we did, but
Mm-hmm.
but for the podcast. I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
this past week just went by really, really fast.
Yeah, it really did. It really did. It definitely feels like we just recorded yesterday. And fortunately, it's really not a ton of stuff going on in the planner community, which can absolutely be a good thing.
It's peaceful.
Yeah, it's kind of peaceful. I'm sure we probably got some spring releases coming up probably in the next couple of weeks, but it's kind of quiet for right now. I didn't really see anything about very many releases. Did you see anything?
No, nothing that we didn't already talk about. Cookie Sticker Co had their like Valentine's Day release,
Mm,
but girl, that's probably gone by now. So I
I'm sure.
mean, yeah, I got
Mm-hmm.
mine. So sorry, but
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, that's the only thing that I seen, and we know what's going on with Arch and Olive this whole month. So nothing other than that. Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Archie and Olive. So we had our first like Zoom call last Thursday where we had the amazing Robin from Crafty Planner Queen. She was talking all about mental health and social media and being a Black creative online. And it was just a really awesome conversation. And shout out to all you guys who were able to join. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was a good turnout and a very
Mm-hmm.
good conversation. I know Nicholas said it was going to be recorded. Is that something people can
Yeah.
watch back?
Yep. The
Okay.
video is available. I believe it's on the blog. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe Nicholas said it should be on the Archer and Olive blog. If you want to go back and see that conversation, and link to that is in my bio. But yeah, it was a really great conversation. And this week coming up on February the 10th, we'll be having another Zoom call featuring our girl Plan with Floor. She will be talking all about her biracial identity, how being Black is not a monolith, and all sorts of great, topics that kind of go under, the racial identity umbrella. I think it's going to be a really, really informative conversation. So make sure y'all join if y'all are available. It'll be at 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And once again, the link is in my bio. If you want to check it out, that's where you can find the Zoom link.
Yes, and I learned that last week that it is 7 Central because
It,
my ass was in there a whole hour early thinking it was Eastern.
it literally
And
literally
sorry to
says
whoever got that
Central.
notification. It did. It did. The blog did say Central.
I think it
So
says
I did
both,
learn.
actually. I think the blog says both. I think it says Central and ET, if I'm not mistaken.
I
I'm
didn't
not
see
sure.
the
Okay,
like
I'm
the
gonna have to
8. You
double
know how it'd be
check.
like 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to look. But yeah, I just assumed that it was Eastern, especially because
Mm-hmm.
I think Robin's on the East Coast too. But whatever.
Mm-hmm.
7 Central, y'all. 7
7
Central.
Central.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's going to be a really great conversation. Make sure y'all join if you are able to. I think you will love it. And yes, actually, I'm looking on the website right now. It does have the link to the last one if you want to check out Robin's. It is still up for you to watch. And actually, no, I'm seeing the one from last week did only have 7 p.m. Central Time, but the upcoming one has 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern on there. So
Okay.
yeah, guys, make sure y'all check it out. It's gonna be really, really good. And come ready to talk. Everybody was so shy and so
Come
quiet last
ready
time.
to talk. It's fine. It's fine. You don't
Yep,
have to be Black to talk either.
you
It's
don't.
a conversation.
It's
It's
a
just
safe
be
space.
respectful. Yeah,
Be
just be
respectful.
respectful of one another.
Yep,
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
yep,
but you can definitely talk. And if you don't want to hear your voice, you can pop off in the chat. I know people were popping off in the chat, asking
yep,
questions there. So
yep.
that's an option too. And you don't
Yes.
have to show your face either. You can
Right.
just talk or
Yep.
type, whatever. Just show up.
Absolutely, absolutely. And
Yeah.
if you can't stay for the whole hour, that's fine. Definitely feel free to come late or, come on time and leave a little early if you got other things going on. That's totally fine too. But yeah, it was a really awesome conversation. Next up, so EC and Wild for Planners announced that they are hosting a small business grant competition. You basically put your hat in the ring for a opportunity to win $3,000 towards your small business. How awesome is that?
Yeah, that is awesome. And I think
Mhm.
they are having the submissions open till the 18th. right?
I have no idea of the dates, but let's just
Okay.
assume that it's true.
Yeah, we'll put it in the show notes. How about
Yeah.
that? We'll put it in the show notes because I
We'll put
know
a
we have.
link to that whole page on the
Yeah,
EC site in the show
check it
notes.
out. Check it out. And because I know we have a lot of small business owners who listen to the show, so
Absolutely.
it's an opportunity. Check it out.
And for aspiring small business owners too, because if you haven't opened your business yet, you can absolutely still enter in the competition, but you got to have your ideas and exactly what you want to do flushed out. Like it has to be, it can't just be like, it has to be very detailed. So if you haven't started your business yet, that's fine. Yes. And this is a great way to get started. And $3,000 is a lot of money. So that can go towards, I mean, that can go towards easily, you know, starting up a sticker shop, or if you want to, you know, make your own planner or whatever. That's a great amount of money to be able to get that off the ground. So yeah, shout out to them for doing that. I love that. I think it's awesome.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I thought it was a good opportunity, and yeah, I'm excited to see who get picked and what they do with the money.
Yeah, one of the stipulations is you do have to be attending Go Wild this year, because a portion of the contest will take place at Go Wild. It won't be open to the public, like that portion of the contest, but you do have to be present at Go Wild in order to, I believe it's like the 5 finalists do like a presentation in front of like a panel at Go Wild, and that's how you end up eventually being chosen. So you do have to be in attendance at Go Wild in order to do that. But the EC site, I believe, has all the details, so we'll definitely put a link to that in the show notes. So, but I definitely thought that was worth mentioning. I don't want anybody to get too excited in case they want this, but they're not going to Go Wild, because that is one of the stipulations. So, but it's not too late to get a ticket to Go Wild. So, just saying.
That's true too. Yeah. Yeah, definitely check that out. I think that is so cool.
Me too. Me too. I think it's really, really awesome. I wish we could enter it. I mean, I think technically we could, but I think it would just
conflict of interest.
Yeah, it'll look icky. It would look icky, especially if we won. People would be looking like, "Hold up, y'all worked the wild ant." You see. Even though, you know, it would be on the up and up, you know, behind the scenes, I think it would just not look great. So, and then, you know, we have been, you know, extremely lucky to have lots of opportunities come our way. So we definitely want to give this opportunity to another up and coming small business. For sure, so shout out to y'all. Enter this. I hope y'all win. I cannot wait to see, like you said, who wins and what they do with the money.
Yeah, for sure. I'm low-key dreading the next topic. So can I talk announcements? Can I squeeze that in there?
Of course.
I know it's not on the list.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I haven't sent this out yet, but I wanted to mention this on the show because a lot of our Patreons always be like, oh, look at the calendar, although I make y'all a calendar every month. Yeah, I'm mocking y'all.
Spoiler alert, I don't look at the calendar.
Clearly, nobody does. I'm just doing it for the air, apparently.
We do. We just forget sometimes.
But there is a change. It's next week we're having our live podcast, right?
Yes, we're having a live podcast. It will, instead of being on Friday the 11th as we originally had planned, it will be on Sunday the 13th. Did you pick a time?
2
p.m. Eastern time.
Okay. 2 p.m. Eastern. I'll send that out again, but I wanted to put it on the show because I know y'all listen to the show, so hopefully y'all will now go relook at the calendar because it will be fixed by the time y'all hear it is. So definitely make sure y'all there, because I love when, and now that we have it opened up to a lot more people, I absolutely love having y'all in on the show. And then on another note of the announcement, since not everybody is on the Patreon, you can still submit questions for our live show. So go ahead and do that. We'll probably put up on Instagram. On Instagram. Sometime this week. So check out our Instagram. If you want to submit some questions there, or definitely email it to axpnw@gmail.com. And that is in the show notes as well. So
like if you have a short question, put it on the Instagram stories. And when we do the question about, but if it's longer and has a bigger explanation, then go ahead and send that to the email. And we'll read them on the live show.
Yep. So live show will be next week. So if you want to ask us some questions, or if you by chance do not look at Patreon like majority of y'all don't, that is your announcements for today.
I feel called out. I feel called out. I feel targeted.
It's fine. I love you guys, but I just want to make sure, because y'all be telling me y'all don't be looking at it. So just want to make sure.
Yep.
Love y'all.
Yes. Is that it for the announcement?
That's it for the announcement.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. And just a quick reminder too, just in case anybody missed it. So the live episode taping is open to everybody on the $10 Patreon level and up, or people who were grandfathered into the $10 level. So that is something new that we change we made this year. So please feel free to join us. We can't wait to talk to you guys. The last live show was so fun. Cannot wait until Sunday. I'm just really looking forward to it.
Yeah. Basically, if you have access to our Facebook group, then you got access to the live. So
in there. Yep.
We'll see you there.
Yes. Okay. So you guys know it is Black History Month. February, the best month of the year. I'm not biased at all, even though, it's running, Black History Month. But anyway, yeah, something that I feel like a lot of us have been noticing, and something that I wanted to talk about is, kudos to so many brands who are doing way more to, be inclusive, be diverse when it comes to, influencers that they're working with, content creators that they're working with, the people who are using their products that they're showing on their pages and websites. A lot of brands, especially in the planning community, are really doing a great job at, giving, content creators of color more opportunities. We have obviously been, beneficiaries of that as well. You know what I'm saying? A lot of brands have reached out to us, because we're Black women, which is absolutely great. However, and I feel like this kind of gets glossed over, I feel like a lot of brands, not just in the planner community, but in the planner community as well, are focusing so much on like the external diversity that they're kind of letting the internal diversity fall to the wayside. And I feel like the reason that a lot of brands have had issues with working with, Black content creators, people of color content creators in the first place is because there hasn't been a Black person or a person of color in the room making the decisions to let them know, like, hey, we need to be talking to these people, we need to be reaching out to those people. And I feel like it's still happening. Like, there are just not enough Black and people of color in these companies in general, but especially in these leadership decision making roles. What's your feedback on that, Myra? What are your thoughts? I know I just said a mouthful.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I feel like the emphasis, especially since after all of 2020 happened, the emphasis have been on being more diverse to what people can see. So we're getting more content creators that are more diverse. We're adding more diversity on our PR teams, but it's not really changing within the company.
Right.
Not to say that these changes like these are great. Like, of course, I want more content creators of color. Is that am I terming that? Is that a thing? Whatever.
No, you're good.
I definitely want them to have more opportunities and be in the forefront, but like where the decisions are being made within the company, because at the end of the day, we don't work for these companies.
Right.
We partner with them.
Right.
So we don't really have power. Like, although we are quote unquote the face or the faces of new releases and things like that, we don't have the power to make internal changes. So it just will be a lot more beneficial if we have people who look like us in these boardrooms.
Absolutely. And I feel like, just like how brands have made the excuse in the past about, why their, design teams or rep teams are predominantly white, that, we're just not getting enough, Black people or people of color who try out, who want to be on it. But on the same token, are you doing enough as far as outreach to those people? And especially when you're talking about employment positions, every company has recruiters, and recruiters do something called sourcing, where they go out and find candidates. So you can have your recruiters go out and intentionally try to find more people of color and Black people candidates for these roles. That's a thing. And it's not saying that you're going to, bypass, a super qualified white person for a underqualified, person of color. There are just as many qualified person of color and Black people as there are qualified white people. So that's not even a thing.
Yeah. Honestly, that excuse is kind of lazy to me. It just
So
kind of shows that, you
very
don't want to
lazy.
do the work to make your workplace more diverse.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, you do have to take the extra steps to reach
Yep.
out to people of color. And especially if or if we see like looking at this boardroom, kind of looking at the about me and it's completely white, we may get a little bit discouraged from stepping into that, because
Absolutely.
that's a huge thing for people of color being the
Mhm.
only Black person, being the only person of color in the
Yep.
room. It's
Mhm.
like sometimes you may, and especially now with the great resignation going on, you may be like, you know what, I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
I don't want to
Yeah.
deal with being the only Black person. So you
Exactly.
may move on from that. But I mean, if you are, as a company, truly wanting to be diverse, you got to take the extra steps to do that. You got to do the
Absolutely.
work. We can't just be
Yep.
like, oh, we're only getting white candidates who apply, so that's who we hire. Like, nah.
Lazy.
Yeah, that's
Lazy is
lazy.
the perfect word for that. Yeah, lazy is absolutely the perfect word for that. Yeah, and I don't really, like you said, it just that will just it's like an unending cycle, because Black candidates and people of color candidates will look at a company, look at their board, look at their leadership, see nobody who looks like them, and of course they won't want to work with a company. And it's like, especially for companies who have had a history of race issues, y'all asses really need to be out there sourcing these qualified Black and person of color candidates to come work at your company. You absolutely need to be doing that, and not just one, not just two. You know what I'm saying? Because especially like for me, because I'm dealing with, trying to get back into corporate America now, that's definitely something that's in the back of my mind. And that's definitely something that I'm looking at when I'm looking at companies. Like, how diverse is this company? Like, I don't want to walk into a situation where I'm the only or one of the only, people of color, Black person in the room. I don't want to deal with that anymore, because I know all the microaggressions and BS that comes along with a non-diverse workplace. It's not a fun place to be.
Yeah, it's not. On top of having to, be in the mental capacity of doing the job to the best of your ability, you have to have that in the back of your head too when you are the only one. So
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? Back when when Planner Getting One happened, we got a lot of brands, being a little bit more transparent about their diversity numbers and acknowledging that they weren't great, but that they were taking strides to make them better. What's the update? What's the update?
Yeah. Yeah, it's the lack of updates from a lot of these brands for me. It's just, and honestly, if there isn't any update, I still feel like there should be at least an update.
Yes.
Because it just shows like, well, on the outside looking in, it just seems like, oh, we're just gonna wait until this die out and push this under the rug. Like
Yeah, maybe
nobody's
they
really
forgot.
paying attention to that. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I feel like if there has been no update, we know why, because if strides have been taken in the right direction, these brands are desperate for some good PR that would absolutely be out there. So there's no update because there's no update on the situation.
Yeah.
Is what I'm thinking. I mean, we're just
Yeah.
kind of left to assume that, it's just business as usual kind of behind the scenes. And like you said, that it's like they just care about what we can see, but it's like, but we know though, we know and we can tell. And every once in a while it kind of shows its face, whenever we don't see anybody, Black or a person of color in leadership positions at a company. It's just definitely not a good look. And something else that me and Myra had talked about is if you do have Black people at your company and you choose to put them in these, leadership positions or diversity specific roles, make sure you're paying them for that. If you're giving them more responsibility, they need to be compensated for that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah, it
putting one Black person in one leadership role at a company is not curing all the diversity issues at that company, and that person shouldn't be expected to single-handedly cure the diversity issues at that company.
yeah. At the end of the day, it just shouldn't be performative. Like if this is
Mm-hmm.
something that you truly want, you want your company to be diverse,
Yeah.
make the means to make it diverse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't just, oh, we got one person. We're done.
Mm-hmm.
You
Right.
know,
Right.
it's an ongoing thing. Like we said, like
Mm-hmm.
being an ally is a verb.
Mm-hmm.
Being diverse in your company, like it's what you do.
Yeah.
It's just what you do. It's not a
Right.
one-off thing. It's not one and done kind of thing. You have to continue to make those strives to make your company inside and out,
Right.
actual employees, content creators, people you partner with. It should be diverse
Mm-hmm.
through and through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And it's okay to acknowledge that you haven't done a great job at that in the past, or that it's just not something that was on your radar and that it's gotten brought to your attention. But once it's brought to your attention, like, you need to do the right thing, and it needs to be an ongoing thing. Like Myra said, like, don't just hire one or two Black people and be like, okay, we're good. No. And then you putting
Mhm.
the weight of the world on those two people to be the diversity representation for your whole company. That's just not fair. It's honestly not fair. And it kind of ties
Yep.
back into what Laura's gonna be talking about at the Archer and Olive Zoom, that being Black is not a monolith. Okay, all Black people are not the same, and that one Black person that you prop up in a leadership position, they might not even care about other Black people getting opportunities. So make sure you're picking the right people also. Not just, you can't just take it at face value that because this person is Black or a person of color, they automatically care about other Black people and other people of color, because all skin folk ain't kin folk. I know y'all done heard me say that before.
Yeah, because it's definitely true. It's definitely true. It has to be something that you do. It has to be something ongoing. It has to be something active. Like we actually are putting the work in there,
Mm-hmm.
and it just has to be a part of your company culture.
Yeah.
It can't be a one-off thing. Like you have to make it a part of your culture.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I agree. It's tough because I know they're trying, and I know most companies are trying, and they are legitimately trying to do the right thing. But once again, like, show us your leadership. Show us your diversity numbers. Like, you can't just rest on, oh, these people aren't applying. No, that's not good enough. That's not lazy.
Mm-hmm.
That is lazy. Like, you have to seek out people of color and make them feel like you truly want them to be a part of your company.
And that, if that's the true company culture, we can feel that.
Yep.
That's not something you can really fake. Like,
mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah.
It's just a tough conversation, but I love Black History Month so much, and I just love that I've seen, like, people in every community, not just the Planet community. I've really seen it a lot on TikTok, that, like, now more so than I've even noticed in the past, like, we're all just so out and loud and proud when it comes to Black History Month, and we are, we know our worth, and we're not settling anymore when it comes to working with brands, when it comes to, being a part of corporate America. Like, we know that we don't have to settle and just take the BS anymore, because we deserve better, and we should have been getting better a long ass time ago.
Yeah, it's definitely well overdue.
Mm-hmm.
It is well overdue. But yeah, I agree. I do love it for the conversations, and well, I'm kind of biased. I just love everything Black, but I do get what you said. Like, I love the conversation that are going on, like you said, not just in the planner community, but just all over.
Yeah, me too, because that's the only way that things are going to change, if we keep having these conversations and aren't scared to shy away from it. And hey, if you are a brand and you got a diversity problem, you can always talk to us. We are open and willing to help for a price. So and don't expect us to solve all of your brand's issues in one conversation. That's just not even realistic.
Yeah. Yeah. But we could definitely work together.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing.
Yep.
It's ongoing. It's ongoing. It's not a one and done kind of thing. It's definitely ongoing.
It really is. It really is. And something I noticed from LinkedIn, I'm sure a lot of companies, but one I noticed in particular, Google have recruiters they're like specifically diversity recruiters, like in their job title is diversity recruiter. So those recruiters are making sure that Black people and people of color are being given opportunities at that company. That's not a bad role to look at for somebody, preferably somebody Black or a person of color. Like, don't just choose anybody to do that.
Yeah. That's true. Well, Google done had their history with Black women in tech in that company.
Absolutely,
so,
for sure. But they're
so
trying.
I can get why they kind of created that role for that specifically. Yeah.
Yep.
Which goes back to you can create the position if that's something that you need in your company. Just create the role for it.
Create the role. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Whew. Yeah. That I feel like we're just gonna keep having conversations like this because it's like we're seeing a lot of, we love Black people, we love Black history, we love Black culture, we love Black artists, we love Black content in February. Let's see where we are in March. Let's see if this can be an ongoing thing that all throughout the year. Obviously, we can definitely, even further prop up Black people during Black History Month, but it needs to be something constant. Like you need to constantly have, artist collaborations with Black artists. You need to constantly be working with Black content creators like throughout the year, not just when it's their month. Like keep it going, and we can be watching. We're gonna report back.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think before, like a lot of people kind of, yay, Black History Month. Thank you for the shout out and representation. And then nobody ever said anything for the rest of the year. But I mean, we've been talking.
Yeah. We've been victims of that too. Where people, reach out to us come Black History Month or Juneteenth, or people join the Patreon, or people, repost the show, and then crickets.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But the thing is, especially Planners and Wine for sure. We not gonna never stop talking about it. I know that was a double negative, but it was needed because we're not gonna stop talking about it.
We're not. We're definitely
gonna stay on your necks.
Yeah, we're gonna hold people accountable.
Yeah,
we're gonna call you in. We're definitely gonna call you in. Because right now this is a call in, and eventually, if things don't change, it's gonna be a call out. So
know the difference.
Y'all can take that how y'all want it.
Know the difference.
Is that a threat? Maybe.
Know the difference. Here's the thing I just thought about too, because one of my beloved candle stores have been getting dragged through the mud through social media for their performative allyship.
Bath and Body Works. I knew this.
Bath and Body Works. Yeah. But I mean, not to go in details about it. I mean, we can if we want to. But my point of bringing this up is that although I do love Bath and Body Works, I can still enjoy their candles and understand that what they did for Black History Month was just not it. I feel like a lot of people, especially within this planner community, especially the subsection, those people in this planner community, go hard for their brand and act like they can do absolutely no wrong.
Right.
And it's time's up for that. Like, it's time to be like, okay, I enjoy your products, but what you did for Black History Month or what you thought you was doing was not given.
Yeah. And trust,
it's okay. And that's a call in.
Yep. And trust, nobody loves Bath and Body Works more than Myra. But if Myra can literally take off her stand hat and be realistic and honest about the mistakes that Bath and Body Works is making, you can too about your faves. You don't own stock in none of these companies. Okay.
You don't.
So
You
just
don't. They
chill
run off
out.
of your coin. Bath and Body Works run off of the money that I give them.
Period.
So how am I to not? I'm out of all people as a customer. I should be the one to be like, nah, this not it.
Exactly.
You can't just put kente cloths on existing candles and say, oh, we're donating some money.
Yep.
Like, that's not it.
Yeah, for those who are not familiar with the situation, that's literally what Bath and Body Works did. And and something that I'm extremely tired of, I'm tired of companies taking traditionally like African symbols and symbolism and plastering it on Black History Month, because, you know, thanks to y'all, we don't really have a huge connection to our African origin, unfortunately. A lot of us don't know. A lot of us don't even know what African country our ancestors came from. So not to say that Africa isn't a part of Black history, but it's not all of Black history. You know what I'm saying? We have a whole American culture that we have built up through the hundreds of years of being here that does not have a lot to do with our African descent. So if your only representation of Black history is African symbolism, that's not enough. That could be one part, but it shouldn't be everything. So that was their first mistake to me. And then two, like you said, instead of taking this as an opportunity to reach out to Black content creators, Black customers, Black people who love and support your brand, and maybe doing a collaboration with them to come up with some special edition scented candles or scented body care that actually is related to Black culture, and then put some type of Black or African symbolism on it, that would have been the move. But you just repurposed. I mean, champagne toast just got a kente cloth around it, and you calling it Black History Month.
Yeah, and we're going to donate a proceed of it. That was
lazy.
It was a fail. That could have been an opportunity to partner with. There's a ton of Black owned candle companies they could have reached out to and partner with for that. And put them, like, share your platform with them. It just was a complete and utter missed opportunity, and I just wanted to bring that up because we know there's we know there's some companies in this community that do wrong, and the girls, this is another thing too, the girls will accept apologies that's not for them to accept. I just y'all gotta like take
or even if you were a part of the culture who was offended, that's still, you can't accept the apology for your whole culture if some people in your culture don't accept it, and you can't make them feel some type of way for not caring like you don't care. Everybody's not the same.
Black people not a monolith, Hispanic people are not a monolith, Asian people are not a monolith. It just because you are that group or that culture that quote unquote was offended, and you on the design team and you stand for them and you can think they do no wrong, does not mean that your okay is going to be the okay for the whole culture.
And it shouldn't have to be. Yeah, and you know what? Something, because I had posted about the Bath and Body Works thing. I had reposted a meme that Laura, shout out to Laura, she had put up, and it was back when the members of Congress, like Nancy Pelosi, like the Democrats, had the kente cloths, and they took a knee somewhere. And I put that
somewhere because we
I don't even know where, but I put that before the picture of the Bath and Body Works picture or whatever, and I put like a meme or something on the Bath and Body Works picture. I think some of y'all be so quick to want to be allies that you're not paying attention, because I got a couple of different of my white friends and followers who responded to the Bath and Body picture with like hearts, like it was like a positive thing.
Okay, we're gonna talk about it. Let's go ahead and talk about it.
I'm not doing any extra work during Black History Month, so I just hardly kept going on my own, because I was like, this is not.
Oh, you did an extra step. I would just deleted it.
Yeah, exactly. But he's like, I was just like, you know what, this is not. I shouldn't have to explain this. Like, you just need to take a step back and pay attention to what I'm posting instead of just being so quick to react to stuff. That was
clearly that wasn't a hard situation, but I mean,
it wasn't clear. I guess it was not clear.
It's clear for people who read.
It is clear for people who read.
That's insane. That's ridiculous. It's just,
it was
like you said, it's folks just want to be allies so bad they just see some Black stuff or African stuff and it's like, oh, they're resharing it because they're Black. Like, let me say, hey, but you're not reading it.
You're not paying attention.
You about to get some emails or DMs with the apologies,
and that's fine. And I welcome them. It's totally okay.
I don't. Send it to @Meg's Got a Plan.
The people who did it were well-meaning people, and if I felt like taking the effort to, get them up to date on the situation, I felt comfortable doing that. I just didn't feel like I needed to or should have had to.
That's labor for you.
That's why I didn't. Exactly. Yeah, the people who did it were definitely well-meaning. So if you're hearing this, you definitely don't have to apologize. It's fine. But yeah, just pay attention to what people are posting, like, and really read it before you react to stuff, because yikes.
Yeah, I feel a way about that because that's just performative. Because it's like you need to take the time to read it. It's not long.
Yeah, it wasn't long.
Or research or
anything. If you were confused, just ask me, like, hey, what's going on? Because like I said, my meme that I put on there, I feel like it was kind of clear because it was like a what the heck type of meme, I think. And it may have been even the actual words. I had to go back to my stories and look, but yeah, I feel like it was very clear that I was, because all the Black people who responded to that, they knew exactly what I was saying. They knew that I wasn't big up in this, like it was a accomplishment, a good thing, from back in my work. So I don't really know. I didn't think it was confusing when I posted it, but apparently it was.
It wasn't confusing. Those people weren't doing the allyship work that they needed to do.
Yeah. That is factual.
I'm triggered. Can we take a break?
Yes, absolutely. We'll take a quick break to hear from our sponsors, and we will be right back. All right, guys. So we are back. Y'all, Myra got me triggered AF during our commercial break. We talked about a situation that I had actually forgot about. But before we get into it real quick, just to say, if you are a content creator or a business, hit us up at plannersandwine@gmail.com. We would love to work with you. Would love to have you sponsor an episode, or we can do an ongoing sponsorship. We can just get a conversation started if you want to work with Planners and Wine. We are lovely to work with.
Yeah, we truly are. We kind of chilled and lay back. Yeah, and we can make meet your needs. We can work something out.
Yeah. Exactly.
So hit us up. Let us know.
Yes. Okay. So anyway, I'm dying to talk about this now. So on February 1st, Day Designer, the planner company, on their Instagram page, they put out a post and it said, "Happy February. Here are some key dates to remember. What are you looking forward to this month?" Number one, for the first of the month, they said Lunar New Year. For the 14th, they said Valentine's Day. For the 17th, they said Random Acts of Kindness Day. For the 21st, they said President's Day. And there was absolutely, literally no mention of the fact that February is Black History Month.
Also, correction, because we did talk about this. They also forgot Groundhog's Day. I thought they put that on there.
Disrespectful. But how do you, as a brand, not even acknowledge that February is Black History Month? And the thing is, hours after they have posted this, they put on their stories some sort of acknowledgement of Black History Month, but the stories are not even, the stories are there for 24 hours. So if you go to the Day Designer page now, you will see absolutely no acknowledgement of Black History Month whatsoever.
It's under this month. They saved it as a highlight.
That don't count. That don't even count.
It doesn't, because that's the same highlight.
Exactly. And they made these posts after that, because if you looked at it, this one, I know when it first happened, this one had been posted at, like, when I saw it was like 8 hours ago, and then they did stories like it was like 3 hours ago. So they had plenty of time to get a little bit of backlash and realize, like, oh shit. But what they could have done is take down that original post and update it. or do something to acknowledge the fact that you literally ignored or forgot. Honestly, they probably forgot that February is Black History Month, because if I had to guess, I feel like there's nobody at Day Designer in any type of leadership role, just like we were talking about, who is a Black person, clearly.
Yeah. And even looking at these highlights, they're all from 5 days ago. So this was everything that was posted on February 1st after it wasn't really a dragon, but it was people, myself included, like, we're looking forward to Black History Month. Like, what about Black History Month? And of course, they just, like, the only person that they responded to it, they just said, love this, with a heart emoji. So it's just, it's the performative for me.
Yeah. Tell me you're performative without telling me you're performative.
Yeah. All of these, like, because of course you still see the day on it. When you save it as a highlight, all of these are on the same freaking day. Yeah. And the only thing that is different is them promoting their 30% off planners. So, I mean, I know we only on day 6, but
I mean, they could have been, if they gave a shit about Black History Month, they could have been posting plenty of things about it since then. But I feel like it says a lot that, and obviously from them even calling the highlight this month. So what, in March, is all that going to be wiped away because you're going to be just posting stuff from the stories from March? So there'll be no permanent acknowledgement of Black History Month on their page.
Yeah, not at all. Yeah,
I'm tired.
It's just so annoying. It's really so annoying.
Yeah, because even during the break, Myra and I had started going through Bath and Body Works Instagram feed, and they had hundreds of comments from Black women and other candle companies commenting about on their Black History Month posts, you know, giving them tips on how they could have did this better, and, you know, trying to figure out why this was the route they decided to go in. And they ignored those comments. They only responded to comments that were totally unrelated to the issue, and that has been their one and only acknowledgement of Black History Month on their page. And yet Valentine's Day has a good 15 posts, and it's one day out of the whole month.
Y'all can't, if y'all gonna be about it, y'all gonna post it, be about it. Stop ignoring comments, specifically to these companies. You cannot just let the comments just run rampant. And in this case with Bath and Body Works, it wasn't even like no like F y'all kind of thing. If it was few, very few. A lot of them were basically call-ins, and y'all just ignored it, never posted about Black History Month again. Proves what the folks in there were saying, like, this is performative. Like, you cannot, if you're going to make a stand as a company, you cannot not respond.
You can't.
You cannot ignore it.
And you cannot have do it. Like, if
you have to stand in it.
You
have to stand in it. And you may lose followers, you may lose supporters, but what is it worth? I'm sure the one person that you lose because they don't want to see politics on their page, you're gonna gain 15 other people because they see that this company is taking a stand,
and who will really respect you and your company for doing that.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's a reason why we don't know, you know, what the board of Bath and Body Works looks like, or the CEO of Day Designer looks like. It's definitely a reason, because there's no diversity. And you can literally tell from the moves that are being made and the decisions that are being made that there is no diversity. There's no people of color who has any sort of control. Or if by some miracle you do have a person of color back there have some type of control, you definitely chose the one who don't give a shit. But I don't think you have anybody. I truly don't. And you haven't shown me anything to prove otherwise. And it's just frustrating that in 2022, I feel like this is, for as long as we have this podcast, we are going to be having this conversation, because so many companies are just they feel like it makes more sense to fake care than genuinely care. But we can tell we've been getting played about diversity and inclusion since the beginning of time. So we know
we're kind of experts at this.
Yes. We know what real inclusion is, and we know what fake performative crap is. We know.
Yeah. We absolutely know. We can see it from a mile away.
Mhm.
Also, the same brand that owns Bath and Body Works owns Victoria's Secret. Like they're under the same umbrella.
Ooh,
So I mean,
the trash be
take
taking
that
itself
with you
out.
will.
The
Yeah.
trash be taking
Yeah.
itself
Yeah.
out. And look, nobody is claiming that they're going to boycott Bath and Body Works. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, Myra loves
Again,
Bath and Body
call
Works.
in.
I love Bath and Body Works. We want change to happen, and that's why we're going to have these conversations. And if change continues to not happen, then we will absolutely move accordingly. Hell, Myra has already started a brand new candle collection from a Forever Mood candles. Okay.
Oh, I mean, that was happening before.
I'm just
but
saying.
Yeah. Because I stand
Bath and Body Works,
Jackie, but
maybe
yeah.
getting phased out if they don't get it together.
They might be. So, I mean, it's other people out here. There's Posh Candle Co. is another Black-owned company too that I absolutely love. So it's other folks out here. Like I don't have to, just like there's other Planet people out here. I don't have to just subject myself to your mistreatment.
No, to your disrespect.
It's a call in. If you don't do nothing about it, I govern myself accordingly.
Yep, exactly. So. Yeah, it's a lot easier to retain your current customers than it is to get new ones. So these companies really need to recognize that. They really, really need to like once we gone, we gone.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah. Oh, I can't believe we forgot about that day designer situation. It's like I just try to laugh at the ridiculousness, but sometimes it really pisses me off because it's just the audacity.
It is definitely the audacity. And just for it to be this month and literally only put that stuff on there for a day. The first day.
That's it. Anyway, moving on. I love how it seems like all of our show topics today are kind of interconnected because remember earlier when I said all skin folk ain't kinfolk? The next topic is a prime example of that. It's a prime example of that. So if any of y'all are active like on LinkedIn or TikTok or Twitter, this is where you've been seeing this story a lot. There was a recruiter. She's a Black woman. I won't say her name, but her name is out there. And she put a post, I believe it was either on Twitter or on LinkedIn. I'm not sure which one it originated on. I think it was Twitter actually. And she put up a post. She's a recruiter. She said, I just offered a candidate $85,000 for a job that had a budget of $130,000. I offered her that because that's what she asked for. I personally don't have the bandwidth to give lessons on salary negotiation. Here's the lesson. She's given the lesson, even though she just said she has the bandwidth.
She ain't got the bandwidth, but here
it is. Always ask for the salary you want. Deserve. No matter how large you think it might be, you never know how much a company has to work with. Myra, what was your reaction when you saw this controversy swirling around?
Well, I heard it on the podcast first. I heard it on the Black Guy Who Tips. Awesome, amazing podcast. One of my faves. Definitely check it out. But here's a few more things I'm gonna throw in there too, because I think this has a lot to do with flex culture too. Because I think the reason why she put this out was she was trying to flex on people.
Yeah.
But she is not only a recruiter, she also has like kind of a side business to where she kind of coaches or I don't know what the title is, but y'all know if y'all watch.
She's like a career coach type of girl.
Type of person. Yeah. So I think the reason why she shared this information, she was trying to like flex and get more like. She thought it was going to go one way, like, oh yeah, let me make sure I advocate for myself, but it went completely left.
It did.
But it sent me because although she claims, because she did have like a response after everybody dragged her,
she claims
she doesn't know.
Yeah, about it.
Yeah,
first she was
doubled down on it. Yeah,
and arguing before she just deleted her Twitter.
Yeah, but when I first heard this, like, I'm just like, this. She just played. We know it's a woman because she said she. Well, at least, you know, that's who she assumed that person is. We don't really know their identity, but she says she, and deep down in my soul, when I first heard what you just read, I'm like, she played another Black woman.
I think she did as well.
We don't know for sure because she claims she don't know the race, but something in my soul said that was another Black woman that she played. Not only that. But even if it's just like, just take race out of it, even if it's just a woman, we already, like, just as women, make like 70 cents on the dollar compared to men. So
I think
we're
that's the
already
numbers
underpaid
for white women.
for white women.
Yeah,
that's why I said we're gonna take
that's not
race
even
out
black
of it.
women. Yeah,
That's not even black women, because I'm sure it's even less than that.
It definitely
but
is.
As a woman, like, how, knowing that statistic that we are underpaid, like, how could you even, one, do this, and two, flex about it? Because at the end of the day, nobody really had to know this. You flexed on that person trying to, like, I don't know, make a statement or whatever for your little side hustle. Like, how could you, like, morally, how could you do that?
My thing is, why should somebody be punished for not knowing how much money to ask for from an employer? Because first of all, this is something that a lot of recruiters talked about on LinkedIn. One, that range for that job was insane, a $50,000 range. So that means, if you're thinking about it, and if that recruiter has maybe done this to other people, or if there are other company, if the company is telling their recruiters, get this job out, get it settled, get people in this job for between 80,000 and 130,000. That means there are people at that job who are making 80,000, and there are people who are doing the exact same job and making 130,000. So that is messed up just within itself. Like, that is just so messed up. And it's just like you
said, that's
a
company culture thing.
Yes, morally, it's like, why? How could you do that to any other person, but especially a woman? Because we're not talking about a couple $1,000, $5,000 difference. We're talking about $50,000, a life-changing amount of money when it comes to your salary. And yes, $85,000 is a great salary, but $85,000 don't get you everywhere it needs to get you, especially depending on what part of the country you're in. Like, $85,000 in Tennessee is not $85,000 in New York. It's not $85,000 in California. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing can be said for 130. So why would you limit that person and do that to that person just because they didn't know? A lot of people, especially if you are changing career fields, and if you come from a low-paying career field, like I see a lot of teachers on LinkedIn who are leaving the teaching profession and going into tech. They're coming from a historically low-paying field. We don't know what to ask for. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, they just don't know. And even when you do the research, there is still no exact data. Like, people put salaries and stuff on Glassdoor, but one, people could absolutely be lying, and two, a company don't have to give a damn about what somebody else at the same position at another company is paying. They can still pay you whatever they want. So why would you take that as an opportunity to educate that girl? Like, there was another thing that I saw going around, and it was like a person had said that her niece was on a Zoom call for a job, and they asked her salary. It was like a panel, and they asked her salary, and she gave like a super low number. So one of the Black people who were one of the employers on that call, they, like, I don't know if this is true or not, but this is what they said. They like dropped the call, and they called her personally and told her, no, this is what you need to ask for. And I don't know if that situation is true or not. I really hope it's true, because it's a great example of what should be done. Like, help people out, and not even just because it's another Black person or another woman, because it's another human being. Like, why wouldn't you want them? Like, that's not taken away from that wasn't taken away from her salary. It wasn't like, if they have at that company some type of incentive to lowball people, then that definitely says a lot about their company. But then that company turned her right around and threw her under the bus. And the last thing I heard was that she lost her damn job.
Yeah, kind of based off of what her, like, response was, like, that her learning moment response, the Apple's Note response. It sounded like she did lost her job. But honestly, I feel like that was company culture. I feel like she went back to the company or her manager and said, we got this for 85, and she got a pat on the back.
Absolutely. It was. She just messed up publicizing it. But yeah. I mean, I'm sure. Yeah. I don't think she just did that out of nowhere. I think it is absolutely the company culture. But of course, companies are only loyal to themselves. So what's their first move? Throw her under the bus and try to make it seem like it's not.
Claim like they don't do that.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that situation was Very, very gross.
Oh, I
And
was boiling.
even more
Yeah.
gross, I saw the majority of people were talking about how she was dead wrong, but there were some people, and recruiters included, who were saying that, you know, she didn't do nothing wrong. That's what you asked for, then that's what you're gonna get. Insane.
Yeah.
Insane. This is why there needs to be more transparency around pay ranges anyway. I know New York just enacted a law, and that's going to go into effect, I believe, in March, where they have to post the pay range for every job. Colorado has already had that, and I need the other states to get on board and do that too, because the way a lot of companies are getting around that, they'll put in their job posting that they specifically are not hiring people from Colorado. I've seen it so much.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
it's because they don't want to be transparent about the pay.
Mm-hmm.
And that's wild to me. It's wild.
Yeah. I mean, this is what laws are enacted for, because people and companies, because all a company is a group of people, they're going to do whatever the hell they want to do. And they're going to find a way around it, like not hiring anybody from Colorado, which I guess now they're going to say Colorado and New York.
But if every state gets on board, then they won't be.
They ain't gonna have no choice, but to list it. And it just definitely needs to be some transparency. So I am grateful that, I mean, I'm sure this girl isn't grateful that this happened, but I am grateful that that conversation kind of came about from that, because it goes to show that at the end of the day, these companies don't care. And it's just blowing my mind, just like you said, on a human level, that one, she would do that, and then two, flex about it.
Yeah.
That's just absolutely gross. Insane for me. But yeah, I know we talked about it here that, you know, negotiate. Usually women, you know, we kind of take what is offered to us with these corporate positions. Negotiate, never take the first offer, you know, research what you can.
Yeah.
But it's people like her out here. So you got to advocate for yourself. And I think that's what she was trying to prove with this whole thing. But that was just gross. A misjudgment on her part all around.
You played yourself.
Yeah, she played herself
as
twice.
The kids like to say.
Twice.
She absolutely played herself. Something else that I saw that was on LinkedIn today, actually. So she said she's a career advisor. She had posted that she saw a job post for an internship in DC, and under the description it had said, "We strongly encourage applicants of diverse backgrounds to apply." Great. But then right under that it says that it is an unpaid internship, and those with full-time availability are strongly encouraged to apply. So you're strongly encouraging diverse applicants to apply for an unpaid 40-hour-a-week job just so they can get experience. And what I was very happy to see in the comments, that a lot of people were highlighting the fact that that was a very entitled, elitist,
white thing to say,
because the assumption that we all have the capacity to work 40 hours a week and not get paid. And I mean, it's like, how can you even privilege say in the same post that you want diverse applicants without acknowledging that the majority of diverse applicants are not going to be able to have the capacity to do that. Because everybody doesn't just have money, or their family or whoever can just pay their DC rent, and they're in the position to not need to be able to contribute to that at all. It was just, I just thought that was worth mentioning, because
I don't get it. This is what privilege is. Just not even realizing that is going to be an issue for diverse candidates. Like, there's no way I could not even entertain the idea of doing an internship during college, because I had to pay my way through college. I had to work through college. There's a lot of things that I, quote unquote, couldn't experience because I had to work in order to do that. A lot of us are first generation coming into college. Mind you, we ain't got no old money. We ain't got no generational wealth.
Yeah.
And it's just such a level of privilege to even have both of those right after each other.
I know.
It's insane.
And of course, because it's always one. There was one guy, you know, in the comments Of course it was a white man arguing that,
The privilege.
oh, you Gen Zers are so spoiled. I took X, Y, and Z amount of unpaid internships, and somebody rightfully pointed out that's because you were able to, because you had your daddy and your mama and them money to be able to live off of. Everybody ain't able.
Everybody ain't able. Even it doesn't even matter about generation. For damn sure, boomer. None of us ain't had that kind of availability or able to do that back then.
Right. But the ability to be able to do that is just going to give that person the leg up in the workforce. Because if they are able to do that and have whoever pay their rent or whatever, they're going to come out of college with experience that their peers are not able to have, and they're going to be first in line to get them jobs that their peers are not able to get. Because guess what, they're going to throw it in your face that even though that you are a fresh college graduate and applying for an entry-level position, you don't have no experience, but this person does, so that's who we're going to hire.
Yeah.
It's a cycle. It's a vicious cycle.
It's a vicious cycle. It is. It's like, I don't know if you ever seen this meme of the pack of scissors, and the way to get the scissors out of the pack was to cut it with the scissors. So it's like, it's when the job is an entry-level job and you still need experience for it. Like, it's just how.
And being on the job search the past couple months, I have seen it so many times, and it's just like, how are people supposed to get experience if you don't give them a job? And it's like, or thinking that just because somebody doesn't have experience in that particular field, their experience in another field just totally has no value. It's like, no,
and there's a lot of transferable skills.
Skills. Yeah. Absolutely. You don't have to have done the exact job to be totally capable of doing it.
Yeah. That's such an old school method too, because
it is.
I don't know. I don't know what recruiting is. Maybe whoever is in there can give us some insight on that. But it just seems like, at least when I was looking or am looking, it seems like they want everything to be linear. You know what I mean? Like, you are going to be in this claims role and you're just going to climb up that ladder. But like, what about people who want to, like you said, get in another field?
Yeah.
It's just, it's ghetto.
It's wild. It's the wild west.
It's ghetto.
it is
crazy.
The wild west. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So one last thing we can talk about to kind of sum up this episode. I'm actually gonna skip the next topic. Maybe we'll talk about it on the next episode, but let's just go straight to the bottom. Y'all know, usually this segment is called Celeb Garbage, but I honestly didn't want to call it celeb garbage because one is really Kardashian garbage, but two, it's not even Kardashian garbage. It's actually just Kanye West garbage. And first, I'm tired. I am tired of Kanye West. I'm tired of his emotional manipulation that we're having to see play out in the news. I mean, obviously, you know, we all said from day one, as soon as him and Kim got together, that whenever this relationship came apart, because we knew it was going to be absolute hellfire coming from him, and he is nothing if not predictable, because that's exactly what he's doing. Myra, have you heard about the latest from Kanye West and his antics over this divorce?
No, but I'm not surprised.
No, not either. Okay, so you know, there was a whole situation where Chicago's Kim's daughter and her youngest daughter and Stormy, Kylie's daughter, had like a joint birthday party together a couple weeks ago, and Kanye decided to tell us that he wasn't invited to the party. He didn't have the address to the party, and she trying to keep him away from his kids. Of course, it comes out that him and Kim had agreed to have separate parties. That's why he didn't really know all the details about, and I'm sure he probably just decided on a whim he wanted to go. But of course, he never acknowledged that and just tried to make him look as bad as possible from that situation. That was a few weeks ago. Most current situation is he decided to once again invite us into their business and post on Instagram that Kim, how can I get my daughter off TikTok without my permission, because Kim was making TikToks with North, you know, their oldest daughter. Kim, who usually does not respond to Kanye's antics, she put out a pretty lengthy statement, I think, trying to reason with him, letting him know that him trying to drag this out in the public eye is hurting their kids more than TikTok.
Which it is. Yeah.
Exactly. And it is. It absolutely is. And then the latest today, where he was posting text messages that he had sent to various people in Kim's family, like cousins, not any of her sisters, but like extended family members, where he was demanding to have Kim's phone number, saying that, you know, I gave you and your family culture and y'all are just trying to do this to a black man. Now he's black now.
Now he gave him culture.
Yes, he did, girl. Yes,
like,
and demanded
they were with black men way before you, Kanye. I'm sorry. Like, did you not?
And my thing is, he only cared. So now he's trying to frame it like they were using him for his blackness. But you didn't care about that the last, 8 years you was married to Kim? Like, that was not even a factor on your radar. You didn't care. If anything, you liked that about, you know what I'm saying? Like, you liked her association with you and your black, like, you were totally cool with that. But now the child is going through this extremely messy divorce that's messy because of you. You're doing this. And the part that really was the grossest to me is demanding her phone number, because trust me, if he doesn't have her number, it's a very good reason why. And she probably has just gotten to the point with him where it's like, there's no talking to you, so we can talk through our attorneys. It's sad when a divorce gets to that point, but she has every right for him not to have direct contact with her after the way he's been acting. If it wasn't Kim Kardashian, everybody else would be calling this an abusive relationship, an abusive situation. And that's what I'm calling it.
Yeah, I think people hate the Kardashians in general to like not understand this, but it is. And I mean, logical judge will see this. And the way he is acting, he is going to lose any custody of his children.
It's crazy. It's literally emotional abuse that we're just watching play out. Because if any of my girlfriends told me that their soon to be ex-spouse was treating them like this, that is exactly what I would call it. Like, he's literally using the public to play the victim in this whole divorce situation and to get people on his side and manipulate the situation, make her look bad, make her public enemy number one, all because she does not want to be with him. And doing all this while he has a girlfriend.
Girl, she don't care. She just like, oh,
she just with him for the clout and the fame.
Yeah,
and the money.
Clout. Yeah,
that's literally it. That's literally it.
It's gross. He's also playing off the fact that people don't like them, like the Kardashians.
Yes, he is. But you're forgetting something, Kanye. We don't like you either. So maybe less people dislike Kanye than dislike Kim, maybe. But I'm pretty firmly under I don't like Kanye in the I don't like Kanye camp. But
I hope regardless of what people feel about the Kardashians and about Kim or whatever, that people can see that this is insane.
It's insane.
And this is abuse.
And you know what? That's another thing. I feel like, because if you go in the shade room and you look at the comments from this situation, there are a few, not a lot, but a few people who are still, it's like every time Kanye does something, his mental health is always blamed for his behavior. And I'm not saying that your mental health has nothing to do with your behavior. It absolutely does. But there are a ton of people with both diagnosed and undiagnosed mental health illnesses who are not doing this. And everybody is different for sure. But I just feel like, at what point does he need to just take personal responsibility for his behavior? Kanye has all the resources in the world to get all the help in the world that he wants and needs. Truly more than probably anybody else. So if his mental health is truly the cause of his behavior, he has the resources to do something about it. And if he's choosing not to, is that not on him? When is his behavior his fault? Exactly.
Apparently never. I don't like when people use mental health as an excuse for bad behavior. It is not an excuse for that.
No.
And it invalidates the mental illness or what,
Yeah,
whatever
it
that mental
does.
illness is. It invalidates that.
It gives it an unfair stigma that just because you have mental health issues, you're automatically unstable. You're automatically not in control of your actions. You're automatically, doing all, and that's just not the truth. It's just not the truth. So, I
Not
mean,
at all. Yeah.
stop making all these excuses for these abusive men. Because it's just abuse, it's just emotional abuse, it's manipulation. And like you said, he is really playing on the fact that he knows that people don't like the Kardashians, especially when it comes to blackness. So for him to now bring up his blackness in relation to them, talking about I'm gonna protect my black children. This is the same man who wasn't even living in the same state as his wife and his black children 2 years ago. But now you're so concerned about who they're being raised by, what social media site they're on and all this stuff. Keep the same energy when y'all was together, because I didn't see
it. I hate this. I
feel
hate
like
this for the babies.
I do too. And I feel like even though, like I said, we all saw this train wreck happening the second that they got together, that when this ended, it was going to be absolutely horrible. I don't think anybody, one, anticipated it being this bad to this extent. At least I didn't. And two, and this is definitely a learning experience for Kim and for everybody out there, pay attention to how people treat people that they used to be in relationships with. Because Kanye had no problem dragging Amber Rose for fifth, calling her all type of dirty, disgusting names, like just treating her like she was absolute trash once they broke up and he got with Kim. You gotta peep that. Because if people are super disrespectful to other people that they've had children with or other people that they've been in relationships with, the tide's gonna turn and it's gonna be on you one of these days. It just is.
Yeah, I think we were talking about T-Bomb too. It's
Yes,
the same situation.
We were.
Like sometimes people get with people and they only hear that one side of whoever, the partner, whoever they're with, and they're like, man, that person you with was wild. And sometimes that may be true. But you got to take that with a grain of salt. You only get one side of the story. And if they are willing to drag their ex-partner that they laid down with and been with through the mud, like they're gonna do it to you too.
You're gonna get dragged as well.
Yeah,
you are gonna, your day is gonna come. Like people are always thinking that they're different and they're not gonna treat me like that, they're not gonna do me like that, and they're always the people who end up literally in that exact situation. Hell, if anything, Amber Rose got off easy compared to Kim, because at least she don't have no kids with that man. True. She's not permanently attached to him. Like he had his little media tour where he was dragging her, and that was the end of it. Kanye is going to profit off of this situation with Kim as much as humanly possible. He's probably going to have several albums about her. Unfortunately, he's going to keep taking every opportunity that he can to talk bad about her in the media. And it's just really sad. And yeah, clearly his new little chick, she don't give a shit. And it's just, girl, I literally can't.
It's clearly just for the clout for her. It's just wild. It's wild.
It is absolutely
it's cringy,
wild.
Ashley.
Yes.
Are you okay, sis? That person?
I mean, do anything for clout. Do anything for clout.
I don't understand that, but I mean, it's in every community. Everybody will do anything for clout.
Yeah, absolutely. So, definitely sending love to anybody who may be in a, physically or emotionally abusive situation, no matter who you are, even Kim Kardashian. Like, nobody deserves this. Nobody deserves this. And it's horrible to watch. As a woman, it's horrible to watch, because I just couldn't even imagine having 4 kids with somebody and being married to them for years and then having them publicly treat me like this. And the fact that he felt demanding her phone number, and fortunately some dumbass family member did end up giving him the phone number. However, Kanye put that online too, and he even publicized the person who gave him Kim's number, thanking them. So not only is Kanye not going to have a direct line of communication to Kim, but that person will no longer either, I'm assuming.
Hopefully it was somebody grandma that just don't know social media or something, but
it was somebody named Larry Jackson, I believe. I don't know who that is.
Larry, come on now.
Yeah.
I'm just, for his sake, I hope that he is just somebody older who just didn't realize the magnitude of everything, but I doubt it. There's literally no way.
How is it not a huge red flag if, like, say one of your cousin's husbands randomly texts you asking you your cousin's phone number? Like, ain't you supposed to know? Especially if they going through a divorce. Like, the answer
That,
is no.
and for people who still don't understand that if somebody asks you for somebody else's phone number, that you need to reach out to that person first. Larry need to get cut off for that. Like, it's come on now. Anybody who's asking me for anybody else's phone number, I'm going to. You cool with me giving them your phone number?
Exactly.
And especially, like you said, in that relationship, like, why don't you have it?
Right.
Y'all was married. Why don't you have it? That's it. Yeah, Larry, I can't save you on that one. Get your shit together. You wrong for that. Just handing out phone numbers. And mind you, that you just got her number, because if Kanye don't have it, that means the number was changed. Yeah. So you just recently got the number. So obviously it was changed for a reason.
Yeah, and you're not gonna have it no more.
Yeah, Larry,
you're not gonna have it no more. Yeah, we need to come up with something like, you know how they do Donkey of the Day on Breakfast Club. We need to have something like Donkey of the Week. Just the person who messed up the absolute worst that week, and this week it will be Larry Johnson or Jackson or whatever the hell his name.
Yeah, Larry earned that. Although I'm not a fan of the Breakfast Club. Cringy.
I'm not either, but I do like the Donkey of the Day segment. I don't like the Breakfast Club either, but the Donkey of the Day segment, it gets me. Yes.
Yeah, that goes to Larry. Yeah, we got to figure out. Maybe we can name it after some dry ass wine or something that we don't like.
Oh, y'all, this probably gonna ruffle some feathers, but I really don't like Merlot.
I don't like it either. Don't like it. We gonna get some emails and some DMs about this one for sure. Yeah, I'm just not a dry one. That one's not it.
Exactly.
Not
we don't like, if you didn't get that from us through us going through that Aldi advent box, that neither one of us like dry wine. We both like sweet, like dessert wine. Like, don't be triggered. It's fine if you love your Merlot. We just don't. And if you don't want us to call it Merlot, let us know what the absolute driest, nastiest wine in existence is, and maybe we'll name it that. But as far as right now, it's called the Merlot segment.
Merlot of the week.
Merlot of the week.
Yeah, Larry deserved that one.
Yeah, Larry. Like, what are you thinking? Why would you give him the number? Like, she's just gonna change it, and now you're not gonna have it. So good luck to you. I love
that we keep saying Larry like we actually know this man. But
I feel like I do, because we probably all got that one family member who would definitely sell us out and give our phone number out to somebody that they know we don't want to have our phone number.
Why would you? I just can't. And then to give it to somebody like Kanye who won't even keep your identity hidden.
He added him. He the post is down now, but
he added him.
He said, yes. Thank you, at Larry Jackson Johnson. His name is. It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. Yeah. And the girls got the screenshot, so that once it's posted, it's never going away.
Screenshots are forever. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, but I mean, also kudos to Kim, because what a flex that your ex didn't have your phone, your ex-husband who you got kids with don't have your phone number. It's kind of a flex.
I love it.
I mean, I don't want that type of energy, but if it happens, no, you can't have my number.
I mean, she has every right at this point.
She really does.
It's to protect her peace and protect her kids. So I totally understand. Could you
imagine? I bet that maniac was blowing up her phone. Mm-hmm. Blowing up her phone.
I would just feel so horrible.
His behavior is just makes no sense. And if it truly is because of his mental health, Kanye, you got all the resources in the world to get the help you need. And if you're not doing that, come on. That's on you. It's just gross. But I don't think it's because of his mental health. I think it's just Kanye. I don't think it may be partially, but I don't think it's all just his mental health.
It's just him. It's just who he is.
He's a controlling, egotistical, person, maybe even a sociopath or something, who knows, like, and him not having that control over Kim and her life and her decisions anymore is driving him up the wall, and he's not handling it well. And it's fair to grieve your failed relationship, grieve your family that you don't have anymore, the marriage, like that is fair, but you need to grieve the end of that in a healthy way. And this is not helping anybody. It's not helping you, it's not helping her, definitely not helping the kids. It's just not cool. It's just not cool.
Yeah, not at all. That's just wild.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, this episode, it definitely ended up being way longer than we expected. We just had a lot of stuff to kind of rant and go off about, because there's just been too much going on. Just all these companies and so many people, just everybody needs to just get it together.
Everybody should be Merlot of the week. Is it called Merlot?
Merlot of the week. Yeah. Okay, as of now, as of Sunday, as we're recording this, it is Merlot.
Merlot of the week.
Yep.
Oh, y'all.
Yes. But yeah, guys, thank y'all so much for listening. This was such a fun episode. Make sure to comment, give us some feedback, let us know what you think about the episode. Make sure you're subscribed to our podcast feed. Make sure you subscribe to the Reality and Wine feed. We'll be definitely coming out with some new episodes soon. I think me and Laura are gonna do a Bachelor episode next week. Do you know when you and Danny's next episode is gonna be?
Yeah, we're gonna do it next week. Although I'm gonna just talk about it over there because I am devastated. But just stay tuned over there. Just stay tuned over there. Yeah, we'll do next week. Also, you said subscribe, and it reminded me, YouTube. You can watch us over on YouTube. Subscribe over there.
Yeah, see all the facial expressions, because sometimes Myra and I are sometimes you just really need to see our faces to understand the weight of some of these situations and the frustration that we feel on a very deep level with some of these situations. So yeah, subscribe to the YouTube channel on Reality and Wine feed. Make sure you follow us on Instagram over there as well. That's all I got. Myra, did you have anything else you want to mention?
No, that is it. Patreon, I guess. Yeah, join us over there. We got some new things coming up on the horizon, so we're just trying to get through, honestly, this next month. After a while, we can kind of hit the ground running with some more exclusive stuff over on Patreon, but we're working through the kinks now. So if you want to join, go ahead and come on over. We right now have amazing stuff for you, but it's gonna get even better.
It is getting better. Yes, we do. All right, guys. So we will talk to y'all next week. Thanks so much for listening.
Bye, guys.